today. Let's take you to our communities now. Today we will be based in the Greater Accra region, specifically in Nungua, where we understand that residents there are battling with water shortage. They've not had water for some time now. But my colleague from the city newsroom, Kennedy Chumesi, visited the community and filed this report. Let's bring you the report after we have conversations on that.
At Nungua seaside, I met Agnes Nuga. She tells me her husband, a water tanker driver, has been rendered jobless, not because there's no demand, but because there's no water to supply.
Ampa, monsieur no, na some demand ye papa. Na ye adwi krompo say ye be demonstration po because say ye nyan so ye benye bi wo he. Hairdresser fon so sa, baba fon so sa, customers no mo hia nso. Na so ye nya bi. Yesre aban say on body say on boye na nsuo no na yensa nkebe ye bre pa ahifa na ebenye sika mi kunu e tanker driver so onye nsuo e supplier ebenye sika wa hin enti yesre aban say onye bibi fa homa ye anu pe na ye pe.
Like many families, theirs now depends on salty and safe seawater for basic chores.
Seawater nso obi nya nipa ni na epe seawater no obi nu say nsuo no ebon obinmu say nchini wom enti yempe kura me dia si water ne dia mani ji hu because nchini nko a udi dware a samina no enye fine enti yepe akosombo na se na ebe ya yensu yebetimi aye bibi fine afa ho.
Across the township, the signs of desperation are evident. Empty polytanks, padlocked taps, and the once reliable lifeline reduced to silence. Neighborhoods such as Nungua Mamli, Cold Store, and Seaside are among the worst affected. For weeks, residents have struggled just to get by. Food vendor Benisa Amwakon shares her ordeal.
Mimi say me aduane tonsin su hu ya din a ha ye mpa no de ye na da wo ye ni ba bia ye kwakobu nsuo enti se wo fa wo sapone we watare a na chese wako empona no wo na wakwa akodware anya saade a ye ni ba bia ye to ye kobu nsuo.
Indi so hu ye aduane eto ne aduane wo yusu see water because
that day ni me nya aduane kra hu hia se me ye aduane because chemical e na omo ahokuru mu e na omo de esen akogu punim enti eno ne de age se wudi besi niema ana se adwaye mpo no e se odi det obi ye den egu mu ansaba ye mu bebre nim enti me de hu ye den de amenko hokra.
In Nungua Mamli, the problem runs deeper. For months, residents here have seen hope vanish drop by drop.
Sunday omba kra yebe nyansu ati ze tangas fo akobun so aba ansana nya kakra na yedi be te nsu no omba o bra yebe bi akobun su no owa na ye nya papi ye de bullets onu mu na ko bunsu no no yaji eska
unse papi bi che to ko masi omba be so many years. Well, mami bi wa onu na ye polytime. Nti hire ane ho na ekobu so. Se mami no so sa na ya nya ha. Well, nti mami no bo na ya na boy kakra. Nso so de bi mba wa. Well, ebi obi be so we fa moto. Now the yellow gallon no agum. Now go substance, go find so no baby fufu. Ansana obetu akansana wo di beba. Well, I had the so the uko anyina we mbaka chere. A problem.
Many now buy water at exorbitant prices from tanker operators traveling from distant towns. Even public washroom operators who serve hundreds each day are barely coping, relying on costly deliveries to keep their doors open.
Me smaga nuwe akwa ila mko nuaba kuni wone kwa ketuni.
O how bena ya ufim se insu emba.
Se insu mba nu umbeba toilet nu eha mi pa se mi nyanso. Enti minimum se de mu be ko toilet nu. Enti mi ko na mi ko soso enso na mi dia bente ho aha mi wo monu ni.
Ni se oko na se wenya insu ni bia mo ye den.
Me to toilet no. Me too.
I'm here in Nungua where residents are struggling with weeks
of water shortages. Many say they've been forced to depend on tankers just to get by. Well, some of these tankers have also packed because they do not get access to water. They are calling on the government to restore a stable supply. Reporting for ChannelOne News, I am Kennedy Chumesi.
So there's a very big problem in the Teshi area. We'll be speaking to the authorities that be and find out from them what really they are doing about this. We know of the Teshi desalination plant that was sort of commissioned in 2015 to serve Teshi and also Nungua. But fast forward, that plant is no more. It's not really functioning because if you watch the reports at a point, one of the interviewees made mention of the fact that we do not prefer the seawater. That plant was actually to treat sort of the seawater and also to distribute to the people within Teshi and Nungua. But the people were of the view that we do not like that water, and fast forward, the maintenance and all that weren't able to raise enough funds to get the plant on and all that, and that plant has become defunct now. But we will still speak the authorities and see what has become of that project, whether it's going to be brought back or there are other measures to will be put in place to sort of let people of Nungua heave a sigh of relief. But we have the municipal chief executive for Nungua. If you know, Nungua is within the Nungua municipality, and his name is Engineer Paul Afotekwe. He is joining us live for us to have conversations on this. Honorable, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I trust you're doing well.
Yeah, I'm good. How are you too?
I'm doing good. Has the water situation come to your desk? The water situation in Teshi, and if yes, which area in Nungua? If yes, which areas in Nungua has been affected?
Let me say a good morning to your listeners this morning. Good morning also to the team in the studio. The solution has come to our attention currently. Persons who live in the southern part of Kro, you take electoral areas like Koriko, Nanyuda, the Sokoti, Nilawe, and others are currently having water issues. The challenge really has been the desalination plant. About 80% of the water that is used in Kro comes from the plant. And so any challenges with water supply from the desalination plant often results in a challenge for residents in the area. So currently, water goes to areas in the low-lying areas in the south, like I've indicated, on Mondays and Tuesdays. And then you have generally water supply improving on Fridays, largely because we have an arrangement with the Accra East region of the Ghana Water. And so they would often push water into our grid on Fridays. The other challenge we have is also with storage, because residents for a long time have been used with consistent water supply from the desalination plant. The cost of storing water really is a bit low. And so I'll seize the opportunity of your platform to encourage residents to store as much water as they can as and when water enters the grid, especially on Fridays. What the Assembly is doing as a long-term measure, even as we work with the Ghana Water Company to resolve the desalination plant issues, is to provide community storage tanks. What that will do is to allow the communities to have some respite, even when water supply from the desalination plant is not as regular as we all wish. Also, in addition to that, is some efforts by the Member of Parliament with some sponsors to set up water supply stations across the communities. And so to answer your question more directly, we are aware of the issue and we are engaging. Okay, let me also touch on engagements we had with stakeholders, assembly members, customers of Ghana Water. At the town hall meeting, we also had the Ghana Water company themselves to bridge the gap, the information gap to residents so that they know the challenges we have and what we are doing to resolve it.
Okay, Honorable, let's understand this. Is the desalination plant functioning?
Okay, thank you for the question. Like I indicated before, currently the plant is functioning, but it's operating, I'm told, at just about 20% of its capacity. You know, the plant is located at the southern end of Kowo. That's in the Nilawe electoral area, close to the sea. And so you need water to be produced at a certain volume to enter the grid and be pushed with enough energy to be able to reach areas that are lying uphill. So when you go to areas like Adogono, Bachona, and Opoigono, they often have, a greater challenge because the water being produced currently at the desalination plant, like I said, is very low. So you don't have enough water in the grid to be pushed all the way to those located or residing in areas uphill.
Okay, so this rules out the notion that the desalination plant isn't functioning and that it's been shut down. Now that you have cleared the air, what has been the arrangement between yourself and the Ghana Water Limited? Now that it looks like the people are not getting water offering, is it that they are having challenge with pushing the water to your place, financial issues, or what exactly is Ghana Water Limited telling you?
Right now, the challenge really is the production level currently at the desalination plant. They are not producing enough water to, and the problem, I'm told, started sometime around June of this year.
And what exactly is the problem? Is it has to do with the plant? What exactly?
Yes, I'm told it has to do with their treatment mechanism. The complications of that, I want to save myself and the viewers that, but the indication they have given is that they are working with their head office to ensure that the issue is resolved so that our people can have water. As a measure, like you asked, I mentioned as part of our DACF, we planned and submitted to this Assembly's Common Fund. We have the funds currently sitting in our accounts. What we'll be doing is to be providing community storage tanks so that, like I indicated, as and when we have water coming into the grid from the Accra East region, like we do have on Fridays, then we'll have the storage tanks across the communities. When household water is depleted, community members can have water to use.
All right, so Honorable, I just want to ask, since you've been speaking to Ghana Water Company, do you have an idea or is there a timeline to when this will be sorted out?
Oh,
right, we lost
please
him.
let's get him on and see whether we can ask him further questions and so we can get solution to the problem for the people of Nungua as they are battling with water supply or water shortage in the area. And Chris, this is a very big one because we know the desalination plant was actually brought up or commissioned so that the people there can heave a sigh of relief. I saying to get uninterrupted water supply. But if now we have anyway, he's back. So Chris, you were asking him a question.
Hi, Honorable.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Hi, sorry. I was asking that since you've been talking to Ghana Water Company, have they given you any timeline to when this will be sorted for water to be restored in the area?
At the moment, I have not been given a definite timeline, We have also sent a number of correspondences to the head office to follow up on the issue, but an exact timeline has not been given. Like I've already indicated, we are taking matters into our own hands to ensure that our people, get some relief through the community storage tanks. Let me emphasize once again, a point I made earlier, and it is to encourage our people to practice a lot of water storage as we put in place the community storage tanks, and then also working with the Ghana Water Company to ensure that the issue is resolved.
When it comes to these cases or these issues, we know the Nungua area, it's a coastal area, coastal community, and a lot of the people there are into fishing or things that will really demand the use of water. Any measure from your outfit so that we do not record or see any health issue now that sort of water supply is not that constant in the area?
All right, thank you once again. A number of interventions have already been rolled out earlier this year through a collaboration between the Assembly, the Member of Parliament who happens to be Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection. Collaborating with Absa Bank, we've been able to set up a water supply and treatment facility at the Nungua Polyclinic to ensure that our health facilities are isolated from the challenges currently ongoing. I've also mentioned the community storage tanks that will be setting up across the municipality. Thankfully, we have the funds sitting in our accounts, and we'll move quickly to ensure that that is done. Quite apart from that, what we also do periodically is to supply water. We'll send water tankers working in collaboration with the Assembly members. And so areas like Mokwejo, some parts of Mokwejo electoral area that is behind the Junction Mall at some point have received water supply. Areas at Empo, if you take the enclave near the Pentecost number 2 church, those ones have also benefited from water supply and a few other areas. And so these interventions will continue, but as a longer lasting solution, we'll continue to engage closely with Ghana Water and the managers of the facility to ensure that the issues are resolved.
Wow, interesting. That's some interesting development there. But since you have tankers coming into the community, we would want to find out where do they draw the water from into the community to be distributed to the community members.
Previously, there were some locations within the municipality where they will do that. I think in May or so, where people who have set up these commercial places where these tankers will draw water from. But it is an activity that, working in collaboration with the Ghana Water Company, we have disconnected all of them. I think only 3 days ago, one of such came to my attention, and swiftly the Ghana Water moved in to disconnect. Because the water in the grade, if the water levels are low or production levels are low, it will not be expedient to have a few people drawing such large volumes of water. Sometimes you would have these also taking water from here and supplying to areas outside the municipality, and so we have put a stop to that. I'm told that there are places near Boom that water tankers draw water from. Other places, I think near Shama also, that water tankers also take water from.
Wow. So all the way from Ashaman to Nungua, that should be far.
It now has become a lucrative business for people, but ordinarily it shouldn't be the case. And so the interventions are enumerated, all together. I'm sure will continue to give our people the relief that they need.
Right. So if you say that most of these water tankers come all the way from Asham and Kpon, and it has become business to each and every one of them, how much are we looking at? How much does it cost? Like, say, a tank?
The supply that the assembly has done so far, I would say that I'm not too sure of the volume, the exact volume, but anything between 500 to 700 cedis. But I'm not too sure of the volume of water that would be. But these are people who put about these white containers, the ones that people use for the catfish rearing, the white containers.
Yeah.
If you have about 3 or 4 of them being delivered to you on the Kia truck,
yeah,
you pay anything between 500 to 700 Ghana cedis.
Wow, interesting.
This is interesting. Anyway, but before you take leave of us, I'm sure that, like you've indicated, the residents are supposed to also play a role so that you can address this concern or this situation. First of all, I want to find out from you if the education has gone down well. How are the people responding to your measures that you are putting in place to ensure that in the near future they will get water, and also the measures you've put in place to address the concerns that they are facing now?
Well, working again closely with the Ghana Water Company, what has been done is through WhatsApp platforms where we have assembly members, unit committee members, religious leaders, opinion leaders, traditional leaders on those platforms. Ghana Water would often give how do you call it, updates on the water situation. Quite apart from that, like I indicated, we've had a town hall meeting where we've invited, I think mid-August, we had a town hall meeting at the Agnes Wahima Pentecost Church, opposite the C5 Golf Filling Station, where we brought together stakeholders, customers of Ghana Water, and several of the stakeholders have enumerated already on the platform, to engage with them to bridge the information gap, explain the challenges currently pertaining, the steps that the Assembly working with the Member of Parliament and the Ghana Water Company are putting in place to ensure that they get greater relief than they are currently experiencing.
Okay. Honorable, before you take leave of us, your final words to the residents of Nungua. You can do it in either English or Ga, whichever language you choose, as you also work around to address the water concerns.
Yo, Mambi, everybody de manu, na by New York, no, Sanjay, go, assembly, nation, na by a fan, no. Work MP, maybe Honorable Dr. Agnes now Mola to Ghana Water. Water ya, Najin Famoele, Yinoni, Worker Shumo, Echenchon, Yabana, Obote, Akuchia Mini, Worky, Story Tanks, Worker Polytanks, Baba, Akuchia Min. Bonapedi, Keji, Wahibani, Minuje, Accra East region, Alopon Station, Neboti, or network. Obanya was stored no ekwe hanye ni nyenye nya use kadi machine no ta ojie no eje me obaya no ebo no work tank se ke ni ahun work boti akuchi ya mi obaya no ni wo fele na kan nya bo amode he ni no mo baba wa nya ti anya benka honorable assembly member say na me ha mali assembly bona pe ni mato gbaja no ni nyani ni ashe no. When you papo no, chakwan yo can be and one on you ha. If in a campete, bonatini, dabi can be Yena himo ke elia ke somo ni wo wusia ke oba somo ne wo somo ne na campete hinda ke senso.
Thank you so much, Honorable. He is Paul Afotekwe, MC for Crow, and he has told us what his outfit is doing about the water situation in Nungua. So, Chris, basically what he said in Ghana is that there are plans to get polytanks stationed at vantage points within the Nungua township so that should they get water flowing through their taps from either Accra East or Bong, they would store the water for future use so that the people there can heave a sigh of relief. I think if measures are put in place to address the concerns, it's going to go a very long way to help the people there, because you can't stay for a very long time without getting water. And even buying water for 500, between 500 to 700 Ghana cedis, and you can't tell whether you're going to use it for 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And also, effective usage of water is also very important.
Yeah. And that's also one thing we don't really talk about, the effective usage of water and people learning to save water. We're not saying it's because of the people's way of living that this is happening, but then again, we should know that water scarcity is actually a problem, and also the issue of water is one of the SDG goals. So that for it to be one of the SDG goals, that means it's a problem. Do you understand? So if it's an SDG goal that we should work on, we should eradicate, we should, focus on, or also try to educate communities on, then it's important that we also talk about the usage.
Yes.
If you, Charlie?
You can't misuse water. And think you
it's
have
happening.
to get it every now and then.
Whatever is on the SDG goals, everything is happening right before I rapture.